Hi everyone, welcome to another Diablo Immortal video. So just a quick video here just to remind everyone about a new feature that's at the blacksmith. So if you head over to the blacksmith in Westmarch and hit services, obviously this was mentioned in the patch notes, but we have an enchant function now. So make sure you go ahead and enchant all of your gear. So previously, remember we had Reforge where you could add Reforge attributes into all of your gear and you needed Reforge stones for those. So that's still there, so we've still got the Reforge ability and you can go ahead and change all of your Reforges still. Now we've got an enchant option, so you can enchant your green set items, so these ones here, and you can enchant all of your legendary gear for all of the gear that you have equipped on your character. You can also go ahead and enchant other items that you've got in your inventory, so there's a button at the bottom. If you click that, you can also go ahead and enchant other items that you have not got equipped. So let's go ahead and enchant an item just to see what it's like. So let's start off with one of the set items. So you've got an enchant button there on the bottom. If we go ahead and click that, you get an enchantment menu here. So we finally have a reason to use up our gold and actually use that gold and also the dust and flowing shards. This is something which people have been asking for a long time, because obviously once we've got all of our gear to 30 and we've been grinding a lot, there's been not much use of these, dust and flowing shards and gold. They've just been building up. So this finally gives players a chance to use up their dust and flowing shards and gold on something useful. So if we hit the enchant option here, which gives us some information, it says use materials to enchant equipment and replace a magic attribute. Enchant equipment, specify an existing magical attribute, consume materials and gold and replace with a new attribute if desired. If the equipment has already been enchanted, only the enchanted magic attribute can be affected further. Each enchantment generates 2 magic attributes. You can choose whether to keep the original attribute or one of the new options. Available magic attributes will be dependent on the equipment slot selected, and those generated during enchantment will be one of the same type as a selected existing attribute. Each potential magic attribute has the same chance to be generated. Reliquary boss skill effects, class specific and skill magics cannot be enchanted. The first enchantment for each piece of equipment will consume less materials. So that gives us a nice overview. It works very similar to reforging, but you can apply it to your set items, and we'll have a look at what happens with the legendary gear as well. So let's go ahead. So we've got potential magic attributes on the right hand side here, and the current magic attribute is movement speed increased by 4%. So let's quit out of this menu, go back into our set item, and you can see magic. You've got the magical property here. So all of these magical properties are what you can actually re-roll for something else you like. And this is really cool, because what used to happen is I'd get something I really liked in terms of the combat rating and the slots, but I'd end up getting a magic attribute which was like increase player damage by 1% or decrease player damage. Now that would be completely useless for my PvE build, but I have to go ahead and use it anyway. This gives us a great opportunity to get rid of those enchantments that we don't like, those attributes, and actually replace it with something we do want. So for example, for this hand set item that I've got, I have damage done to players increased by 1.5%. Now this is my PvE build that I use for challenge rifts, so this is a completely useless attribute. So let's go ahead and enchant this for the very first time. Only one magic attribute per equipment can be enchanted. Once confirmed, cannot change to other attributes. Okay, so this is a one-time thing, so you only got one chance to pick what you want to actually enchant. What did we get? The original is damage done to players increased by 1.5%. The new attribute 1 is damage done to players increased by 1%. The second one is damage to enemies suffering loss of control increased by 5%. Unfortunately, both of those two are very PvP like skills, but I'm gonna have to just go for the loss of control one. So let's go ahead and replace with new. The selected magical attribute will be retained. Continue. So let's go ahead and do that. So there we go. We've now gone ahead and replaced the one that I had before with damage to enemies suffering of loss of control increased by 5%. Now I can go ahead and enchant that again, and obviously it will cost a little bit more. This time I've got damage done to demons increased by 8% and damage to full life enemies increased by 7.5%. So I'm going to go ahead to damage done to demons because this will help in my PvE environments that I'm using this build on, like challenge rifts and hell bounties, for example. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. So I've got damage done to demons increased, and that's definitely improved my character already. So you can see the enchantments now cost 6 of these flowing shards, 200 of these dusts, and we've got 100,000 gold. If we go back to another item I haven't done before, 350,000. So you can see the very first time you enchant that attribute, it's a lot cheaper. And yeah, this is going to be great because you can really tweak everything a lot more. And here we go. For example, let's do a legendary item. So let's find something which is not that great that I'd like to get rid of. What have we got? These are fairly decent ones here. That's not too bad. I will go with damage to enemies suffering loss of control increased. So let's go ahead. And you can see the first one, even for the legendary item, is 3 flowing shards, 100 dust, and 50,000 gold. So on the right hand side you can see the different types of attributes we get: increasing critical hit chance, skill damage, item based damage, damage done to players, damage done to demons, enemies suffering from loss of control, damage taken while moving decrease. So all of the ones we're used to seeing. And this is a great way to tweak your build even more, just to get the type of properties you want. You know, those critical hit chances and attack speeds, skill damage, the really good ones. It gives you a chance to actually use all of these dusts and flowing shards and gold. So those who have been farming for ages and got the rank 30s early on, this is great because this gives them a chance to just re-roll to their heart's content until they replace that item, that is. And remember, we're going to be rotating our legendary items and set items quite often, I guess, so don't go too heavy on these because you know you end up doing all of these enchantments and then, you know, a few days down the line you'll end up replacing this gear. So let's go ahead and do this one. So we got damage taken while suffering loss of control, the first attribute which improves on the original attribute, and then we got the new attribute which is completely different. Primary attacks reduce enemy healing. Not too great, but I'm going to go with that one anyway. And for example, let's do one more. So gone to 6, 200 and 100,000. What do we get? I'm going to go with skill damage increase. So we got the first attribute was slow resistance increased by 8%. Attribute 2 is skill damage increased by 3%. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. So as you can see, it's fairly easy to use. It's intuitive. The user interface is nice and easy. It's all under the blacksmith, under enchant. And yeah, just go ahead, take a look at all of your green set items you've got now and see if there's anything which you don't like and replace it with something using enchant, and then go ahead and cycle through all of your legendary items and have a look at your magical attributes, see if there's anything you don't like, and go ahead and use your flowing shards, your dust and your gold finally to replace that magical attribute. So just in case you didn't know, that feature is there. Go ahead and do it straight away before you dive into any other content, and good luck with whichever magical attributes you get. This is a fantastic quality of life improvement and update for this game. A great feature that enables us to tweak our builds even further and get rid of some of those annoying attributes which we don't like and make our character stronger. So hope you enjoyed watching that one. Just a quick video just to let everybody know about that. Go ahead and do that. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.